Coffee with the coach, University of Michigan head coach Dusty May. How are you, coach?
Doing well, Jim. How are you?
Good. 32 minutes, huh? I heard you last night after the game. 32 minutes. That resonated with me.
Give or take a few.
Okay. I got to ask, it was a great win. I mean, 86-72, you guys were all over them from the beginning, but you said 32 minutes. As a coach, can you stop that train when they kind of lose focus? How do you reel them back in? Is it as simple as a timeout? I've never coached, so I don't understand how you can do that.
No, actually, I called a timeout, and usually I like to see guys play through some things. And also with our team, I like the game to be opened up, more free flowing. The less stoppages, the better, with the exception of free throws. But I just read where I was praised for calling the timeout, even though it didn't work. So maybe that's the new coach's secret. No, it's focus, concentration, but also like everything else, there's other circumstances, and sometimes it's the other team have figured some things out, and it's a make or miss game. You know, some of the looks they made late, they missed early in the game, and so you just try to evaluate your process and your standards and how things are going, and not just constantly resulting, because that's the easiest thing to do. If the ball goes out, you did a good job. If the ball goes in, you did a poor job. It's not that simple. Our game is so complex, but yeah, there's a number of things, but also coming off the West Coast, you know, we can't lose sight of what typically happens, the typical behaviors of teams moving back east after a long road trip. And so you balance that, but we're always pointing towards the future and as far as improvement.
It also feels to me like teams have made the adjustment of getting their ass back on defense. That was just, I was trying to be more PC about it, but that's what it is. It feels like they are taking a shot and they are running back as fast as they can. They do not want to let you get loose.
Jim, that's correct. It's a give and take game. And the byproduct that is we're actually getting a little bit better executing against a set defense and finding offense quicker without that early advantage. So there's always going to be a positive. We're going to see so many different things throughout the season. And then there also have been teams that sent everyone to the glass. And early in the year, that's when we were really good getting out in transition and getting easy baskets, or at least quick threes. And so now we're seeing a lot more of teams sending 3 and 4 back. So we'll have to continue to find ways to rebound and push and still find those early advantages, because our tempo is still top. Our offensive tempo is still top 5 in the nation.
Head coach Dusty May with us, Coffee with the Coach. You hear the games right here on 94.7 WCSX, a big win over Indiana, 86-72, Ohio State on Friday, then Nebraska next Tuesday. With the team, and you were talking about defense and possessions, and you said it last night in the post game, you're thinking about March and April. You have to. I mean, that's the goal for a team like this. Those possessions become even more important during a tournament. Can you teach that mentality, or is it something these young men just have to understand?
Both. I mean, we're teachers, we're educators, but sometimes you haven't been through it, and you see it in the NBA with guys that have been playing 15 to 20 years. You don't always play well in this game. You just try to put yourself in the best position to win every single night with a good, solid plan, and then you execute that plan. And each game has a life. Each possession has a life of its own. So, yes, we're always teaching it. The players also, they're aware. I mean, it's like everything else. How many people can perform their absolute best every minute of every job, or whatever the case. So, you're factoring in some human error and just trying to push past that threshold and continue to improve, but also leaning on our teammates. But the culture stuff are the things that are the most important now. Our effort, our energy, how we interact with each other. Those are the things that this time of year typically slip. You're going to make some mistakes on the court, but the other things, we have to be mistake free when it comes to being a great teammate.
Do you find yourself after the game, when you're talking to the media, sometimes you're talking to the people who decide on the brackets?
No, never.
Never? You never. I mean, I hear so much talk about resume building in February. Like you gotta get those resume wins. You gotta have those resume building wins. Is that just us as fans, or ESPN, or whoever, simply doing it that way? Or is that really a thing?
No, we're building our resume and our metrics.
Okay.
We're building a body of work. But as far as the committee, we had, I think, 11 quad 1 wins last year, and we were 5 seed. So I'm not politicking to those people. I'm just speaking of us building our portfolio, because you want a higher seed. I mean, if we're at the 1 overall seed, we play in the Midwest. We're going to be playing in a pro Michigan environment. And we faced a team that had earned that right last year in Auburn and Atlanta. We basically controlled 30 minutes of the game, and they made a run, and the place erupted, and it was a home game for the Tigers. And so we would love to have that advantage because we earned it this year in the Midwest. But that's secondary. Us playing good ball and us continuing to improve is the primary focus.
I know you and I have talked about it before. I would think with these young men and the amount of information that they can take in through this is startling. That I think it's for a lot of people to. I can't comprehend someone. I'm in the media and I have people that comment on what I say or do, but not to the level of a college athlete at the University of Michigan. And to keep themselves grounded as we get closer and closer to the Big Ten tournament towards the season as everything ramps up. I can't imagine how difficult it is. My question is like, you're aware of that. What do you do to help them? Is it the structure of the program?
Absolutely. We try to normalize it. We try to actually, I mean, you want to try to avoid the noise from people that you have no relationship with or you don't respect their opinions. I mean, I think first and foremost, I listen to the people that I respect their opinions and I process it. The people that I don't know or they don't have any expertise in any of the things that we're working on, I just keep it moving and encourage our guys to do the same thing. But we also just try to normalize what they're hearing. They're all hearing the same thing. Probably 90% of college basketball players now are hearing that they need to shoot more, they need to be more aggressive, they should be playing more. And I think that's the biggest difference. When I was a young player, I knew when a guy was better than me, and so I didn't expect to play over him. Now, even if a player's better than you or outperforming you, you still want to play just because you want to play, and that's the difference now. But once again, it's not as if we parents haven't created we adults have created this culture, and now we have to live it. And it's who combats it the best, because like I said, I would say almost everyone is hearing it.
I was thinking about, and I know it's an Indiana reference for the football, with watching Mendoza and his field vision during the national title game. And I was watching the game last night, and it feels to me you've got multiple players with really good court vision. The way it flows, is that trust? Is that, I mean, what is that? Because when this team is right, and you were for a large part of that game, everything feels so natural. It's not forced. If you didn't tell me you're running a set play, I wouldn't know. It just looks like it was five guys who were all on the same page doing exactly what they felt like doing.
Yeah, our goal is that to play more like jazz versus classical music, where the guys are playing off of each other. We have a really smart team by nature. These guys have a high basketball IQ. And we recruited passers intentionally. Even Yaxel is the most unselfish superstar, in my opinion, in the country, where he really does. If he doesn't touch the ball 8 possessions, he doesn't care and doesn't say a word, almost to a fault. Where if he's not touching the ball, we'd love for him to get on the offensive glass a little bit more and run the lanes. But that's how certain teams are going to defend us. And so we, as a group, have to be, I would say, content knowing that they're going to take this away, and I have to be okay with my teammate getting the shots or getting the touches. But yeah, the passing is a big part of team chemistry. When you play with a group that the guys are going to make the right plays, it's so much easier to fall in line and do the same thing. And then once one guy breaks that chain, then that becomes contagious as well. So that's the fight we're always having with a team that enjoy passing, even if it doesn't come with accolades and attention and dopamine. It's still the right thing to do, and the team success will last much, much longer than that shot of dopamine.
The 32 minutes that you made reference to as well, I kept thinking about the idea that, and you just said it with the Auburn game last year, and I'm not pointing out negatives. I'm just simply saying, as a fan, watching this team, that to win this whole thing, to get the whole enchilada, you got to play quality defense for 40 minutes. And again, that's something I would imagine is a constant theme for you as we get ready for Friday night with Ohio State, then next Tuesday with Nebraska as well. You've got to play for 40, right?
Yeah, you have to play with great focus with the teams you're going to play, but you have to play well on offense for 40. You need to play well on defense. You don't have to play great on either side. I don't think. You just have to be sound, solid, and fundamental in all three areas: the in-betweens, the special situations, the dead balls, and then also offensively and defensively. And that's the way we built this roster. We knew that we can't be number one in defense and 40 in offense, or we can't be number one in offense and 32 in defense and have a realistic chance to win it all, a Big Ten championship and a national championship. So we built a team that we felt like could be really good on both sides of the basketball. and we're still figuring ourselves out. You see so many different things. The coaches in our league are so good and they're creative. And so you're battling a different monster every night in which teams can find the best solutions with the most guys typically come out on top. But it's incredibly challenging to win a regular season championship. And so the team that does it this year in our league is going to, they should have their head held high because it's going to be tough.
When was the first time you realized the scope of Michigan, Ohio State?
I mean, the game in football. For us in basketball, we have two rivals. Michigan State is because of how good they've been since Judd Heathcote days and
Yeah.
whatnot. They've been so good so long that's a major rival. And then obviously the Ohio State football spinoff, it's a rival for us as well. So very unique where a basketball team has two teams that they would consider rivals. And so we have to be up four times this year, a little bit more than extra, but also not too emotionally invested that it causes you to lose sight of what's really important. And that's playing good basketball in between those lines.
And of course, Nebraska, I don't know if a lot of people know, top 10 team, and they're no joke. That is a really, the Big Ten, I was telling someone, the Big Ten to me, top to bottom, and you and I've talked about it before, Coach. Damn, it is such an intense conference, top to bottom in basketball.
It is, and they've done a really, really nice job of retaining guys that they got out of the portal a few years ago. When you look at Burke from UCLA and Rink from Bradley, the Lawrence kid's been he was there, then he left and came back. And then Coach's son, who's he does so many invisible and tangible plays for their team. They're a really unique, and that's not even mentioning the transfer from Iowa that's evolved into one of the best shooters in all of America. So they've done a really nice job of blending the transfer portal guys together. Their role definition's elite. Their plan is elite as well. And they're going to be a tough out for anyone. They have a really good team and well coached. And so Nebraska is certainly not a fluke by any stretch of the imagination. They're as good as anyone in our league and probably anyone as good as any team in America.
So Dan Campbell goes out and gets coffee with his wife on Mondays when the Lions win. What do you do after a win? Do you have a meal? Do you have a go-to in Ann Arbor when you're out or something like that? What is it?
No, we don't have a week before our next game.
That's a good point. Yeah. You got about 20 minutes, it feels like.
Yeah, we have a quick turn, and so you try to learn and apply from the last game, and then our seasons are a lot different than football. I mean, so no, there's no.
But you don't have like a comfort food or a good cup of coffee or something that you like that. I'm gonna sit down and absorb this for a little bit.
No, nothing. Absolutely zero.
Look at you. You are so focused, Coach.
Yeah, I wish I did. I'd probably be a little bit more balanced.
Hey, go to Blimpie. The gym's there. You can get yourself a couple sliders, man. But keep doing what you're doing. This team is so much fun to watch. And Ohio State Friday night, obviously here on CSX, and then next Tuesday with Nebraska. And what a big game at Chrysler as well, man. Are you still? I mean, I know you're having fun, but in the moment, can you still step back and go, "We're really good. This is fun to be on this side of it."
Oh man, I appreciate our guys and our staff so much. Every game, just knowing you have you should be in position to win the game late in the game, and all seasons aren't like that. So very rarely do you have an accumulation of talent that has decided to come together and sacrifice to do something great, and we can't lose sight of that because that's why we all came here. We knew that this was going to be difficult, even with all the size in the front line. Those guys were all choosing to join a group where their minutes were going to be less than they would be otherwise. Damari Burnett's playing less minutes than last year. Will Cheddar's playing less minutes than last year. And there's no question in my mind they would much rather do that and be 17-1 than 11-7 or whatever the case. And so we can't lose sight of that. But yeah, this is a fun group because of their IQ, their unselfishness, and we still have a lot of room for growth.
All I hear is Bo Schembechler going team, team, team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I mean, you reflect that back to them, Coach, and that's as much as I know you talk about the players and focus on them. That is also an expression and extension of what your belief is as a coach, and it echoes all through Ann Arbor and all through Michigan. So keep doing what you're doing. Go hang one in Ohio State. Screw them, and then have fun Tuesday as well. All the best. Go Blue.
Go Blue. Thank you.